Good morning, honorable judges and dear teachers. It's my greatest pleasure to be here to present my lesson design today. I'll cover 3 parts. Firstly, learner and text analysis. My target students are non-English major freshmen. The text is learning about English. With a familiar topic, it comprises unfamiliar historical facts and long and complicated sentences. Next, teaching objectives. By the end of the whole unit, the students will be able to understand the text and acquire information on the history of English, learn the words and expressions related to language evolution, and use them in their daily life, appreciate the rhetorical devices of oxymoron and metaphor, express the factors contributing to the global success of English, explain the differences between British English and American English. Lastly, they will raise their awareness of Chinese culture and develop the ability to tell China stories in the long run. Thirdly, I would like to talk about my teaching plan. I'm actually following a skill-based syllabus design. To complete the whole unit, I'm going to use 5 periods. Period 1 covers pre-class work check, pre-reading task, and the background information and global reading of text A. The purpose of Period 1 is to motivate the students, activate their background knowledge, and also prepare them for the coming reading session. Periods 2 and 3 are the detailed reading of text A, which includes the history of English and reasons behind its glory, rhetorical devices, difficult words and sentences, and also the writing skill. Exercises will be done after class. Assessment and feedback will be given in the class. Period 4 is the extended activity of the language focus of usage, and it's going to be a group presentation on the differences between British English and American English. In this learning by doing process, the research skill, cooperation, communication skill, and critical thinking will be practiced. Period 5 is the text B. It's going to be a homework, and only the difficulties will be explained at students' request. Comprehensive language practice, including viewing, speaking, and writing, will be done in class to develop their language proficiency. My demo lesson today is taken from the very beginning of the reading session. Now comes my demo lesson. Good morning, class. Right, I'm counting on you. Firstly, do you know the word lingua franca? In fact, it's a common language spoken by users of different languages. Is English a lingua franca? Do you know about it? Yes, sure, English is a lingua franca because it is the official language of 67 countries and it has the largest number of speakers worldwide. By the way, do you know which language ranks the second? Yes, China, very good. So, isn't it important for us to learn both English and Chinese well? Yes, definitely. Okay. Our topic today is the history of English. The development and formation of the English language has many historical reasons. In the history, English has developed from Old English to Middle English and to the modern English today. The development of English shows the richness and inclusiveness of the language. Here is a quiz. Can you tell the origin of these English words? Tea from China, that's right. Tiki-taka? Do you watch football? It's actually a football tactic, so it's from Spain, right? Sushi? Yes, Japan. It's a Japanese. Beef. From French. Espresso. Yes, Italian. Very good. Ketchup. You know that? It's in fact, yes, a Chinese word. Very well done. With every new idea, every new invention, English always adds new words into its language. You must be quite familiar with the following. 奴左奴代. You know it? Sure, yes. Okay. How about Hungary? It's the combination of hungry and angry. It means angry because of being hungry. The English language has so many new words, buzzwords, and loan words, right? So, do English-speaking people worry about the purity of their language? How does English gain its popularity and become a lingua franca? The text will tell us. Now let's come to the title, The Glorious Messiness of English. The word glorious is a complimentary word. It's something good. Messiness is an uncomplimentary word. It's something bad. The author put these two apparently contradictory words together. What does he intend to say? Well, can you go to paragraph 3 and find out what the author means by using glorious messiness of English? I give you 30 seconds. Please read it and find out. You can't find it? It's paragraph C, text C. Let's go to text C. There, you see here? Okay. So text C, paragraph 3. That's this. Good. All right, time is up. Anyone can tell me. Catherine, please. Right, you need more time to read it. You haven't previewed the text. Okay. So maybe Queenie? Right, you can't get it. In fact, the glorious messiness means the happy tolerance and the willingness to accept words from anywhere. That's the author's point of view. Well, these two qualities makes the messy English glorious. Well, glorious and messiness are two contradictory words. The author used them here because it is a rhetorical device. It's oxymoron. Oxymoron in Chinese, 矛盾修饰法. Here is an example. Parting is such sweet sorrow. William Shakespeare used sweet sorrow to express and reveal the mixed feeling of joy and pain when parting from the loved one. Well, have you been convinced by the author that the English language is glorious? Not yet, maybe, until further evidence is given. Now I want you to continue reading. Let's go to paragraphs 4 to 16. Please read it and find out the information about the major events and their impacts. I've listed all the events on the left-hand side, and please work out the impacts of them and give 2 example words. I'll assign you to different tasks because we have limited time. Can you work on paragraphs 4 to 9, please? And can you work on paragraph 10 and 11? And paragraph 12, 13, please. Paragraph 14. 15, 16, please. You too. Right. I give you 30 seconds. Let's begin. Yes, right. Any questions? And that's okay? Right, good. And which paragraph do you work on? Right, yes. Very good. 11? 12, okay. Yes, you work here. That's the answer. Okay, right. Okay, class, time is up. Now let's find out the impact of the first event on the development of English language. And can I have Catherine, please?
The impact on the development of English is identifying similar words. Linguists have come up with what they called on Indo-European.
Right, Indo-European language. Very good. And can you find any words?
Snow, beef, and wolf.
Well done. Thank you very much. And what about the second one? Yes, please.
The second one, the impact is the Anglos and Saxons together, they form what we call Anglo-Saxon society.
Right, very good. The Anglo-Saxon society formed the Old English or the Anglo-Saxon language. Very well done. And can you find any words?
The example words are sheep, ox, earth, wood.
Right, good. Okay, thank you very much. Well, the first two are really complicated to find, and since we have just very limited time, I'll show you the answer to the rest, and you can check your answer by yourself. I've actually planned a mind map to exhibit the development of English language and also the impacts. Are you familiar about a mind map? Well, it may help us to sort mass information into clear and logical order. You can draw one after class by yourself. Now, let's come to the last part of our text. This is paragraph 18. Can you read and find out what these bold words imply? We have cultural soil, shoots sprang up, grew stronger, and built fences. Well, what is the scenery that the author has created with these words? Think about it. Soil, shoots, and built fences. Well, it's actually the scenery of a garden. But since the author is talking about the language development, do you think the author really wants to talk about a garden? Really? Talking about a garden? No, right. So the author compares the images of a garden to something else. Soil, in fact, refers to the various cultures contributing to the development of English. And shoots and plants, actually shoots are plants, right? They are the English language. And also we have people building fences here. They are the people who set barriers for the development of English. Actually, the author used a rhetorical device of metaphor. I would like to give you another example. Let's have a look at this. All the worlds are stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. A metaphor is to say A is B. So, what is the world compared to in the metaphor? Yes, Jenny, please.
Maybe stage?
Yes, the world is compared to a stage. What about men and women? Let's say it together. Men and women? Players. Yes, players. Very well done. Exits and their entrances? They're actually the births and the deaths, yes, of people. Good. By using metaphor, we create a vivid image. And what effect have been created? To evoke emotion and to leave a deeper impression on the author, on the readers, right? Well, Chinese people are good at using metaphors. Here are some examples. They are the lines of Chinese poems translated into English already. Can you tell the Chinese? Translate them back into Chinese. The first one, a spring silkworm may not stop spinning silk until death. A candle's tears dry only when it's burned down to ashes. Can you say it loudly? What is the... Can you please? Vivian?
春蚕到死丝方尽，蜡炬成灰泪始干。
Perfect, very good. The second, do you not see the yellow river come from the sky, rushing into the sea and never come back? Who knows it? Please.
君不见黄河之水天上来，奔流到海不复回。
Perfect, right. The third one may be a little bit difficult. Let's read it together. The beacon fire has gone higher and higher. Words from household are worth their weight in gold. You think of it? The Chinese? Little bit challenging, right? Let's say this together. Very well done. Okay. So I think maybe after class you want to brush up on your Chinese literature, Chinese poetry a little bit. Right. Now comes the critical thinking part. Here is the question. As a lingua franca, English ensures smooth and effective communication between people from different nations in many areas, both online and offline. With the introduction and widely application of translation platforms, Google Translate, DeepL, Trados, and today's rising AI, ChatGPT, do you think it's still worth the effort and energy to learn English? And why? I want you to do a group discussion. 4 in a group, and you 4 work together. I give you 1 minute, and at the end of it, please report to the whole class. In each group, you need a supervisor, making sure that everyone contributes and participates in the discussion. Let's begin. Yes, you can work together. So is your answer yes or no? Okay, give a brief answer, right? Later.
It is only human beings that really matters in intercultural communication.
Right, very good. Okay. All right. I think you have got your answer already. Yes or no? Can I have this group, please? Anyone? Please.
I think it is still worthwhile to do so because it is we humankind that really matters in intercultural communication.
Yes, that's right. So, you think it's important because it ensures cross-cultural communication, right? Very good. Thank you very much. What about this group?
Absolutely yes.
Absolutely yes.
Because, although we have those devices, but we still need some conversations in our daily life. So,
Yes.
We cannot use such as ChatGPT to talk.
Right.
So we have to talk by ourselves.
Yes, good. When you want to communicate freely and effectively, it's better that you grasp the language and you are able to talk properly, right? Very good. You have done a good job so far. Well, let's come to the summary. By completing the tasks successfully, you have learned knowledge of the history of English, discussed and reasons behind the global success of it, enhanced your reading skill of extracting key information from a passage. You have also appreciated oxymoron and metaphor. Well, lastly, you have raised your awareness on Chinese poetry, and with the group discussion, you have collaborated and communicated. Well, then I would like to give you the assignment. After class, I would like you to work on the similarities between British English and American English. Please do a research and try to find out the differences between them, right? And prepare a presentation and be ready to present it in the next lesson. Okay? Right. That's all for today. Thank you very much.
Well, contestant number 15.
Good morning,
How are you today?
Professor.
How are you today?
Well, good, I think.
How do you,
A little bit nervous, though.
how do you like your students?
Well, the students are a little bit quiet today, and I would, well, if they can interact with me a lot better, if I can inspire them to talk more, it would be better, I think.
You noticed the problem with
Yes.
this group of students.
Yes,
When you ask them about oxymoron or some other things
Right.
In the text, but they didn't respond very actively.
Right.
And you gathered they didn't read the text.
yes, I realized that, because normally in my normal class, I would ask students to do the global reading beforehand. That's the period 1, and my lesson is taken from period 2. I suppose the students have got some idea from the text, and they should be able to respond.
So they didn't do any global reading and still less local reading.
No, they
And
didn't.
then how would you change your methodology?
Well, in fact, if this is the problem, normally in the class, I would give the students more time to read the text. I would guide them through the main idea. Actually, in global reading, students are supposed to find out the main idea by using the reading skill of skimming and scanning. They will find out the meaning of the title. They will find out the division of the text,
Yeah.
and they will get the main idea of each part. Then they are better prepared for the detailed reading.
Okay. Your design is excellent,
Thank you very much.
but the outcome is not that.
Hasn't been achieved, you mean?
I guess the outcome is not something that you expect,
Right.
right?
But I think, can I just say that? But I think with more time, because I have planned the detailed reading to be dealt with in 2 periods, and now we have just 20 minutes.
Yes.
And then after this part, I will give the students I will give the students more time to detailedly read the text, well, I think in that way the text might be interpreted and understood better.
Okay. That's a gap. You know, I noticed today there's a gap
Right.
about your purpose is to ask your students to learn about English. And your students have some problem with learning English. Learning the text, to get acquainted with the text,
Right.
so that they can talk about English rather than,
Right.
you know. So we should find a way to actually bridge the gap.
Right.
When
bridge
we
the gap.
have a group of students with the text unread, what shall we do?
Well, it's actually something a teacher should always think about it, how to motivate the students, how to prepare them. Normally, before the class, in order to prepare the students for the reading of the text, I would give them a pre-class work. I
Okay.
would ask them to preview the words and get ready for the main idea, to give them some background
No, I mean,
information.
they fail to do that. What would you do?
In class, they fail
Yeah.
to do that. Well, I think
They fail to do that beforehand. Then you have a group of students
Right, I understand that.
responding very slowly and
Right.
reluctantly.
I'll be patient, and in the class, I'll guide them. I will, read the text with the students one sentence after another until they understand.
Okay.
Right.
And about the teaching of the text itself, it's entitled Glorious Messiness. You
Yes.
talked about this from rhetorical devices perspective. But why did the author use messiness?
Messiness?
Yes.
I think that is because English people, I would say English users are so tolerant. They are willing to get English words. They are willing to get words from everywhere. And because of the origins are diversified, that makes the English seems like some sort of disorder or messiness. And then because with so
Okay. I mean, is it possible that the writer is from a particular national origin?
actually,
The writer is not British.
the writer is not. Well, sorry, I haven't done
The writer
research
is
on that. But
American.
I know the author have written a lot about the history of English, and he made this speech.
In the text, the footnote says the writer is from America.
From American, right.
So it was an immigrated or imported language from the British Isles, right?
Yes.
And it developed into Englishes rather than English. So therefore we have the English-speaking peoples rather
Right,
than the
English-speaking,
English-speaking
yes,
people.
Right.
But I noticed some problem with your statement that
Please.
do English-speaking peoples worry about the purity of the language?
Yes.
If peoples,
Right. That includes
I
all.
assume
Right.
English has become Englishes.
Yes. That's
Right.
right. Exactly.
It's a group of different varieties
Right. From different
of
varieties
the
and
English
origins.
language. So
Yes,
they don't worry about the purity.
Well, from the text, I think from the author's point of view, he doesn't worry about this, and he
Yeah.
welcomes it because he said it is a glory. And he has contrasted this to that of French, because French people don't want their language to be mixed. They don't want to borrow anything from the outside world. And the author has given one example of
yes,
Walkman.
the French people worry about the purity of French,
Yes.
but they don't worry about purity of English.
The French people,
Yeah.
there is no need for them to worry about that, I think.
And there's 67 countries using
Yes,
English
67.
as an official language. I mean, this figure is...
I searched it on the internet. It's really a big number.
okay, did you ask GPT? Chat GPT?
No.
Okay.
I searched with Google.
When you talk about the use of ChatGPT,
Yes.
and the students followed you,
Yes, very good.
no, blindly.
Blindly?
Yeah, because at least at the moment, ChatGPT cannot ask questions.
Right? It's like
They only
Siri
answer
on
questions.
the iPhone.
Yeah, they only answer questions. It only answers questions.
Right.
It does not, for the
But
most of the time.
but I think hopefully with the technology of AI
And
development, that will finally be done.
Okay, the next generation, right, of the ChatGPT of next generation will ask questions.
Right?
But your students today, they ask questions.
Yes,
They will, they should.
they should.
And they can ask questions.
Right.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
sure.
Thank you.
you very much.
Thank you, contestant number 15. Let's welcome contestant number 16.